I want to thank Mr. Whitty for his graciousness and congratulate Mr. Warfel on his success. Um, I raised the issue of the height of the proposal early on, and while I appreciate his graciousness, I do disagree with Mr. Whitty that I shouldn't be concerned about that height. Um, that's a big issue here in Santa Monica, and I'm not opposed to height per se. The question is, what are the trade-offs? And indeed, we have set 84 feet as the point at which serious discussion of what we might get as a trade-off begins. So I very much want to see, as other council members already have asked for, an option at 84 feet. And in my role representing the community, I want then to be able to compare and contrast that to what we might get out of this property should we, for good reason, decide to go beyond 84 feet. It's important to realize that this parcel of land we're talking about, which as a member of the public correctly pointed out now belongs to residents because this council and its predecessors have consciously aggregated what were individual parcels in the heart of downtown. And the idea has always been that by doing that and by having this key parcel be controlled and developed with the city's oversight, that we might get something here in the heart of downtown which we could get no other way. If you look at the promenade and the phenomenal success of the 3rd Street Promenade, one of our challenges has been, as that success grew, individual landowners who owned parcels began to see increased profits, sometimes by displacing the very businesses that we had felt made the promenade such a special place in its outset. We lost the food courts. We lost many of the affordable shopping opportunities on the promenade. On a parcel like this, where the city owns all of the land, we have greater control as a community over what happens, within, of course, the limits of economics. Things have to pay for themselves. We've seen how shopping centers control their environment by owning the whole parcel, and certainly shopping centers will have a mix of businesses that they have determined will be the most successful, but those are not public space. Look at what we have here. We have the opportunity to create a thoughtful, integrated, successful public space right in the heart of our downtown. This is one of the opportunities that, really a city dreams about. So when we look at this parcel, I think that I fully agree we need to start at 84 feet, but I also want to know what happens if we don't. I also want to know what could be, and I may not end up voting for it, but I want to have the choice. The other thing I want to give as a thought and direction to staff as we authorize continued negotiation. We heard tonight that the revenue projections on this site and with this proposal hinge in large part on the hotel involvement and the transient occupancy tax that we are going to realize as a benefit by having what will be on the high end of moderate priced hotel rooms here on a city-owned parcel. To that end, we are going to have a very serious interest in how that hotel is operated. We have expressed this in the past with parcels we own. For instance, the Viceroy Hotel is on city-owned land. And we realized when they renewed a lease on the property that it really was in the city's interest to make sure that the revenue from that hotel use was uninterrupted. And we know in the past in this town we've had labor disputes over various hotels. So what we demanded there and what we made part of the request for proposals here is something called labor peace. We want the developer to assure us that they have some agreement such that there will not be work stoppages. There will not be an interruption in that revenue flow, which the city is going to be depending on from this site that we own in the name of all of our residents. To that end, I think I heard a very good suggestion tonight, and that is that Metropolitan Pacific think early about who an appropriate operator might be to fulfill the philosophy which you apparently have already expressed in having the communications you have with the United Air Union. Their support means a great deal to this project. And I think we need to, as we go forward, make sure that we don't inadvertently get into a relationship with an operator who might not be as easy to work with as people are finding you to be, Mr. Warfel. So I would urge you early on to look into who are the operators who would work best in our community. I think Santa Monica is a very special place. I don't think you'll find there's a shortage of people wanting to operate hotels here. With that, I can only say that we're not approving a project tonight. We are so far from being close to approving a project that it's almost silly to talk about approving a project. We're noodling around a concept, and we're choosing a partner to work on the concept with. And we have many, many stages and many miles to go before we'll be entitling anything on this site. But tonight is exciting just to contemplate the possibilities.